Right now we are gorilla tracking. I see the gorillas over there. Oh my God. These are wild gorillas. Let's go.
For years, the world was shown one version of Africa, which is poverty, chaos, suffering, famine, diseases, and wars. But one YouTuber just shattered that image in real time, and the internet is shocked. Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Today we are discussing something important, and this is about the propaganda about Africa that is being destroyed slowly but surely by IShowSpeed's tour to Africa. This tour has exposed one of the biggest lies ever told about an entire continent. So we are going to watch some clips of IShowSpeed in Africa, and then we also listen to some creators who are reacting to the propaganda. Then we shall react. So without wasting more time, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. I'll catch up with you after these clips are played.
We are here in Zambia at the Devil's Pool. I'm about to swim to the edge. Woo! Zoom! Yes! Holy crap, we at the edge like it's on, baby. Let me bring y'all with me. Woo! Oh my God! Holy crap! Woo! Devil's Pool in Africa. Turn me up, baby. This is crazy. This is insane, y'all. We might fall off. I don't think I'm ever doing this again. A Luffy and me collab shoe, and it has a Zambia flag on here. Zambia love speed, bro. W Zambia, bro. Damn, that was sick, bro. That's lit, bro. That's really crazy. Ooh. Yo, this is probably the most beautiful beach. Come on, let's go out more. Let's go out more. Beach is beautiful, man. My great grandma.
Where? She's leaving?
No. Yo, sing. You smell like my great grandma.
Yes, really?
Yeah. She passed away though.
Possible.
Yeah, you smell like her. I don't know if y'all use the same like scent, but you smell like her. So it gave me like a nostalgic like memory.
An American visiting South Africa, I say this with all due respect to Africa and all disrespect to America. Everything here is so clean. All the bathrooms have been so clean. I am here literally at an African safari. The bathrooms here are cleaner than the airport bathrooms, cleaner than the Disney World bathrooms, cleaner than a lot of restaurant bathrooms. It's crazy, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Green phone.
We got a chef.
Coconut water.
This is our chef from Benin. And
Yes.
She's gonna do food tasting with you. Then you're gonna get to try some local dishes.
Yes.
Starting with cocoa if you want to refresh. Coconut water.
I love coconut water. You like coconut water?
C'est very fair, donner coconut water.
Chat, there's nothing better than coconut water. Chat, coconut water is the best thing to drink, bro.
You get 5 of them. Huh? 6 of them.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll get one as well. Yeah.
That is what I'm talking about.
I know that in other countries, they can go to the pharmacy and actually get what they need. I live in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia right now, and I went to the pharmacist and I was like, hi, I think I kind of have like a UTI. Like, do you have any pain medicine, any cranberry? And she's like, why don't I just give you antibiotic? And I was like, then I go back and I'm like, hi, I'm going to South Africa next week, like on safari, like any good, mosquito repellent? And she's like, girl, you want anti-malarials? And then I get bold with it, right? I go in there, on another occasion and I'm like, I'm back, I'm waiting for my birth control to come from the US. Like, it's taking a while, prescriptions and doctors and all that. And she literally threw the birth control at me. Amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying speed in Africa. It's cool. Like, It brings me back to the mindset every time of these motherfuckers is tricking us out of each other. Like, they're tricking us out of enjoying one another. We don't even know it. Like, damn. But I'm enjoying seeing Speed, you know, go into the communities and the tribes and different stuff in Africa. Like, I like that.
IShowSpeed in Nigeria. As most of people in the West, they think Africa, there's monkeys, animals walking around. As a Westerner, I'm talking from my personal experience. And right now, watching these clips and videos from Speed, I went to Nigeria last year for 10 days. And personally, I didn't know what to expect. Now I'm seeing a lot of clips where people from America, from Europe, being surprised how rich, creative, as I said, talented, and modern Africa is. Basically, in one city of Lagos, you have everything. The cultures, the traditions, the food. This stream reminded me of my trip to Nigeria. Gave me a lot of great positive memories. So I really want to encourage more creators, people from the West, people from the States, visit Africa, Nigeria, because bear in mind, only in Nigeria you have 250 million people, almost like in the US. But yeah, I hope with all the people who are talking about his streams right now, it's gonna permeate all the world and show how great, beautiful, talented, and rich Africa is.
Bro, Speed really changing the game for real. Like, I didn't know Africa was such a beautiful country. They got cars, they got water, they got Wi-Fi. Like, we was lied to. We was really lied to. The music in Africa is just so beautiful. I used to think the only song in Africa was Waka Waka by Shakira. Come to find out, they got Davido. The US government really brainwashed us, bro. We need to go back to our brothers and sisters. Like, I really thought everybody in Africa speaks like this. And the best part of all, hear me out. Hear me out. You're not gonna believe this. They got more than one country. No, I'm not kidding. They got more. I thought it was just Africa. I really thought it was just Africa. I'm like, don't cancel me for this, but I low-key thought they live in huts. Like, you know, that's just what he teaches us. Like,
the IShowSpeed guy, he's recently been touring Africa, live streaming the entire thing, and like they're talking about like how just the fact that he's over there doing that, like people are getting to see Africa is a real place. Like Africa is like, you know, a modern continent. It's not, you know, mud huts and whatever everywhere. It's, you know, you got a variety of things, and a lot of people are just saying like, you know, he's just with him doing that is showing the world like a whole different perspective that a lot of people are unaware of and ignorant of. So I mean, I think it's dope. I think it's dope when they tackle these like political issues, when they tackle even if it's controversial. I like it. I like the fact what Drewski doing, you know, even with the mega church thing, but I like what IShowSpeed is doing with his Africa tour and streaming the whole thing. I think it's dope.
I'm watching the IShowSpeed Goes to Africa shit, and I'm looking at the comments, straight dumbasses. Why are people up in there, black people, saying I thought they lived up in huts? What are you talking about? And the white people just as clueless. They're like, oh my God, they got running water. What do you mean they have running water? How you think they've been surviving? You think they walked to a reservoir? It is 2020. It is 2025, about to be 2026. There's no way y'all could possibly have thought they were like back in. Sorry, the sun hidden. Sorry, the sun was hidden, but it's like when people say India has baddies, as if like Indians aren't already bad. Like the statements that just be said by Americans sometimes. I understand why the countries look at us dumb. I understand, because after reading those comments, ain't no way, boy.
Speed, the influencer, right? He did a tour in different African countries, and the reaction I saw of American, like young guys mostly, one guy was even crying. He was like, oh my God, they've shown us Africa, and Africa is just really amazing, and they showed us only that there are poor people there. Honestly, that's propaganda. I remember growing up in the Netherlands. This is like the Netherlands is like a 7-hour flight from America. It's far. It's further. America's further than Ghana. Just understand that. Ghana is closer, and there's no time difference, just an hour time difference. That's nothing. If I go to America, it's already like 5-hour time difference. Anyway, when I look at the TV, you know, you watch a program. As a kid, you see, oh, donate to this and this, and then you see African children, and then you see flies going into their eyes, and like, oh, they're so poor, so donate now. So all of these charities and all these companies were just putting these images in our heads. And I assume that in America it was even worse than in Europe. But still, even my own Surinamese community, they don't understand. They're now starting to understand, because of social media, that Africa is dope. It's amazing. So, and every country has their struggles. Like, when I went to America, I was in shock when I saw how many people are living on the streets. How many people are sleeping. Like, you have like rows of cars, and then you see their stuff in it, and it stinks, and they sleep in their car. It's terrible. I've seen people on the street with like families, and like 5 children. They don't have a house. Like, it was crazy. But those images are not shown. The images only of the riches, the luxury. Let's do that, people. We have to show our own luxury and images, because there is so much here. And then all the other images are just being left out. That's what they do in the West. It's the same thing.
And I called it. I told y'all, and some of y'all just laughed at me, but I knew it. I swear to God, I knew it. A couple of months back, I made a video saying how if African people all around the world would unite, then it would basically bring the continent of Africa together. It's game over at that point. And all the racist people in the comment section, now that'll never fucking happen. You guys hate each other way too much. This, that, and the third. But Speed is now live streaming in Africa, and look at the effect that it's having on black people all around the world, especially in America. Some people are crying because they're so emotional. Africa's so beautiful. It's advanced. It's not what they tell you it is. It's not sticks and huts. They see Africa and they can't help but wonder, that's basically Wakanda. What if we went back and started like fixing it, doing more for the country? Could it use some help? Of course it could use some help. Look what Africa is up against. But the sentiment is there. African people from the diaspora, they want to connect. That's that spiritual calling. They want to connect. Before Speed, though, there was another creator. He goes by the name of Wodemaya. He goes around the entire continent of Africa, to many different countries, you know, the countries that would allow, I guess. And he basically just shows the beauty of it. He talks to entrepreneurs. He talks to politicians. He talks to people who are, you know, on the ground, making a real difference. He's showing Africa in the real lens. If you want more out of what IShowSpeed is showing in this live stream, check out Wodemaya I think he's on TikTok, but he's also on YouTube. You know, long form videos. It's time to start connecting with the motherland again. That's it. It's game over.
What up, y'all? I'm from Los Angeles, and I moved to the south of France. Hey, look, yesterday I left a post. About IShowSpeed being in Africa and the love that he was embraced with when he got there, and showing that he went across the world to many different countries and doing his tour. But the love that he received in Africa. The most amazing part about the love that he received in Africa, like I was saying, that we were taught in Africa, and I'm not a young chap, and I'm talking about from my mother's age, my grandmother's age, that Africa didn't embrace us, you know, like this, that they didn't like us, basically. We was taught this. I guess it was just the separation to not get us back together, though, you know what I mean? Not to understand that we was actually taken from those people as well. So as much as, you know, we got separated from them, they were separated from their people too. You were somebody's child, you were somebody's daughter, somebody's granddaughter, somebody's grandson, somebody's brother, somebody's sister over there. So imagine when they came and snatched you away. It was somebody on that side that was crying that you were gone too, though. So of course they love you. Of course they always wanted your arrival to come back. They probably just wonder why we never came back when we had airplanes and the freedom to come. And the reason why is because we were brainwashed. And I heard a lot of comments. I got a lot of comments, a lot of views and everything on these videos on TikTok. And it was just amazing to see the outreach of all the Africans from all over Africa just hitting me up, telling me, you're welcome, bro. It's nice for your information. Spread the word more. Let them know that we love them. It's a big difference of love, real kindness, docile, friendly, loving people. And just to get that pour of love back from them, and to know it's been there the whole time, and that we've actually been bamboozled. We've been fooled. And it's crazy, in 2026, we have to find out from TikTok and Instagram and things like that as he's going viral on his super high live stream that IShowSpeed does. But yeah, I found out years ago that they didn't feel this way about us. I found out years ago. But I can't tell every person. Every person's not going to listen to me. I can't start some big forum and people going to follow me. So you guys was able to see in 2026 off of social media. That's a damn shame. We've been had the internet. We've been had ways to find out how it really is. I call it wasted information, to have some information and not use it. Not use it at all. So, like I said, to all my Africans out there that hit me up and keep hitting me up, you know what I mean? Built a brand new relationship with a bunch of Africans, I guess just because of my posts. That's amazing, though. It's amazing when you get around the world and you living abroad and you travel abroad, how you see things a whole lot different than just actually staying in my bubble, which I was in America. Blinded. Totally blinded. Anyway, I want most of the Americans out there, basically my story is what I'm trying to say is, if we were ignorant yesterday, we're going to be ignorant today. You know, wake up. It's time for us to take some trips back to Africa. Many of my friends told me, many of my friends in Africa, they said, bring your ass. Come on. Come to Africa. We love you. You're going to be treated really, really, really well. Hey, that's all I got to say, man. Let's go visit Africa, you guys. Let's stop the brainwash that we was taught. And let's reteach ourselves, man. It's time for new blessings. God loves you. Love yourself. Aha.
As an African American and someone who is passionate about my heritage, one of my dreams is to visit Africa. That's one of my dreams. And that's one thing I'm going to do before I leave this world. I just have to build up enough funds to actually make that trip. Because what I want to do is I want to stay for a couple weeks. The biggest dream I have when it comes to getting to Africa is to walk right back through that door of no return. That would mean so much to me. So, to my African family out there, love you guys. Hope to meet you all one day. I have got in contact with some of my cousins who are there. And I've, got in contact with them through the ancestry DNA testing that I've done. And some of them said that, hey, if I come, they'll help me out and stuff, and they'll, show me around, maybe. But I do want to walk through that door of no return. I just have to figure out the places that I do want to go, that places that I do want to visit, places that I want to see. I love food. I love African food. I love people, so I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully one of these days, I don't know when, but like I said, I got to build up the funds to make that trip. So definitely looking forward to it. Any recommendations will be awesome. Anything to do while I'm there will be awesome. Would definitely appreciate that. All right, guys.
Yo, have y'all seen Speed's stream? IShowSpeed's stream. Speed Does Africa tour has straight up shattered the old narrative that Africans don't like African Americans. Fans have shown nothing but massive, genuine love across Kenya, Rwanda, South Africa, and more. Huge crowds mobbing him in the streets, emotional hugs, some fans even tearing up. Motorcycle escorts, chants, and treating him like family have proven a deep connection in the black diaspora. Many black Americans watching these streams are getting emotional, realizing that the division stories pushed online don't hold up and they don't add up. Africa welcomed him with open arms, respect, and joy, contrasting sharply with rougher experiences in places like Europe. It's healing stereotypes, bridging gaps, and showing we're all one people. The love is real, and it's changing minds worldwide. Kudos to you, Speed.
IShowSpeed is probably one of the most dangerous black men in the world right now. And not for the reason you think. Dangerous because he's dismantling centuries of propaganda in 60-second clips. For generations, Western media and power structure spent billions in painting Africa as savage, dangerous, poor, working tirelessly to divide Africans on the continent and our family in the diaspora. Made many black Americans believe they would be hated here, that they would never belong. Then a young black streamer from America lands in South Africa, Angola, Kenya, Rwanda, and what happened? happens? Love. Country to country, city to city, overwhelming love. Artists hand him portraits, kids chant his name, elders bless him, street vendors feed him real food. Every city, every border, welcome home. Now, some will say, well, he's famous, of course he gets love. But fame didn't protect him everywhere. In parts of Europe or Asia where he is just as known, he was met with racial slurs, monkey noises, people literally throwing bananas. On this continent, he is valued, respected, protected and celebrated. Here's why this matters more than you think. Speed's audience is young. Millions who've had zero touch points with Africa beyond negative headlines and history classes filled with lies. He's not just talking to people who are already aware. He's introducing a lot of new people, the next generation, to a side of Africa they desperately tried to hide. His live streams show real kindness. He's making respect for Africa go viral. He's changing the message from be careful to you must visit and experience this for yourself. This matters because narrative shapes movement. When a 16-year-old black American in Chicago who's been told his whole life that there's no food in Africa watches Speed taste local food in Zimbabwe and say, why is the meat so good? It breaks that lie in seconds. Now imagine black teens across the Americas. Watch how people on the continent embrace Speed like a cousin. Something shifts fundamentally. Maybe Africa isn't just struggle. Maybe Africa is me. And that's the danger. Dangerous to a long-running story that kept many away from the continent, away from its people, talent, and opportunities. Once you witness the love and feel seen, the old script stops working. You start planning trips that will build bridges, lead to real meaningful relationships, cultural projects, and business ideas. That means money, skills, and attention flowing toward African cities, not away from them. I left Germany behind and built a new life in Africa because what many of us already knew, IShowSpeed is proving live and reminding everyone who missed it. This is home. Africa is where we are valued, welcomed, respected, and able to build. Follow for more to join my journey of building a new purpose-driven life in Africa and a short-term rental business that creates home bases for my family across Africa.
Let's talk about Speed's tour in Africa, and let's note and know that Africa is a continent, not a country, okay? So as a black American who's into African culture, music, dances, love African people, I love learning about it. You can just go to my page. You can see that all I do on my page is dance to African music and support African music and dances. I love learning and I am still learning. With that being said, all I gotta say is it's about damn time. And what I mean by that, it's about damn time that my black American people open up their eyes and realize that the preconceived notions that you guys had about Africa are not true. The ignorant thoughts that you guys had about Africa. And we know what you guys thought about Africa. I don't even have to say it, okay? And to be honest, it shouldn't have took Speed going to Africa to make you guys realize and open up your eyes and learn something. Especially if you're a grown adult. And if you're a grown adult who still was having those preconceived notions and thoughts about Africa, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be really embarrassed, really. However, I am very happy that I see so many black American people having so many positive things to say and saying that I seen one guy crying and feeling bad about the way he thought. I've seen so many videos from my people and they're really learning. So I'm very happy that this stream is making my people learn something and helping my people learn about Africa and not have those preconceived notions anymore and negative and ignorant thoughts and comments about Africa. I'm very happy that this is really changing us in a way. I hope that the stereotypes against Africa and African people can finally come to rest and we can actually come together as black people and as the whole black diaspora come together, stop arguing and actually heal. But yeah, that's all I had to say. And if you're still having negative stereotypes against Africa and African people in the big 2026, then you're just moo-moo, eh? If you know, you know. I'm not gonna say anymore. Yeah, okay? Bye.
The popular streamer IShowSpeed has recently visited Ethiopia and he's over there having a good time. And there's been a lot of reactions to just everything that he's been documenting over there with his experiences and how people think it's a great thing to show, you know, the side of Africa that the media and our educational system here in America and really throughout the world never shows. And I want to touch on that, you know, as someone with a background in paying in African studies, as someone who has studied abroad on the continent, as someone who's an African American, but also has Afro-Caribbean roots, I think I always have a unique perspective on these things. I've always stated that when it comes to discussing the African diaspora, when I speak of the African diaspora, I'm not only speaking on Africans on the continent, I'm speaking about African people here in the United States, in the West in general, in the Caribbean, up to Canada. I'm speaking about Africans in Europe. I'm speaking about African people in Asia. I'm speaking about African people globally. Whenever the topic comes up about divisiveness in the African diaspora, I never put too much weight into it. And here's why. Whenever we talk about division between Africans or African Americans, that's a really popular one, or between Caribbeans and African Americans, that's another popular one. No one ever discusses why these divisions exist. I want to flash back to the 1960s, actually, when you're looking at a lot of the black struggle that's going on here in the United States, but really across the diaspora globally, whether we're talking about leaders and movements, whether, we're talking about, different rights that were passed, different policies that were implemented. You had a lot of leaders globally throughout the diaspora during that time who started to make connections and not only discover our common bond with coming from Africa, but also discovering our common bond with fighting systems of oppression. You look at figures like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, of course, Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, Patrice Lumumba of the Congo, Haile Selassie, down to Kwame Ture in the Caribbean, and their influence, of course, with Garvey, predating them. Anyways, you see that all come to a head at this time, and it's no coincidence. I always say this as a student of history. It's no coincidence that all these people were assassinated or attacked or defamed in some shape, form, or fashion. And the reason why that is because the powers to be know that when African people unite globally, there is nothing that can hold us back. Throughout my life, even when I've come across encounters, and I've seen it in my own family, with, my mom's side, is Afro-Bahamian, but, we also have a lot of Haitians on our family. And I've seen, terrible remarks made about Haitians, from the Bahamians in my family or those with Bahamian roots in my family. And a lot of it, once again, is rooted in really Western education and Western media, and how they've portrayed Haiti, and how Haiti still gets a lot of hate today for the work they did with the Haitian Revolution, which, to be honest, without the Haitian Revolution, none of us would be free here in the West. And I might discuss a video on that later on to get a little bit more deeper into that topic. But I say that to say, I've seen it firsthand, even in my own family. I've seen it firsthand, just living life, but I never let it get to me because I know the roots of it. What I tend to do is I try to get to know people throughout the diaspora. My friend group, really consists of people from everywhere you can imagine. Definitely everywhere here in the United States, regardless of region. Definitely Caribbean, definitely all throughout the continent, whether we're talking about Nigerian, Kenyan, Ghanaian, Senegalese, Ethiopian, Tanzanian, South African. I mean, I can keep going on. Congolese, Sudan, everywhere you can imagine throughout the continent, I've formed friendships. And one of the reasons I've always done that is because that's how you begin to break the barriers down that have been established by those who oppress us. Those who do not want to see us come together. Another good way to break those barriers down, is to insert yourself into these spaces, because not all of us have the means to travel, and I understand that. However, especially here in the U.S., as diverse as the U.S. is, immerse yourself into different communities, immerse yourself into different cultures. Always found that food is a good way. That's why you always hear me talking about food on here. Food is a good way to immerse yourself in cultures in general. I find that when you go into an establishment where someone is serving food from their culture and you not only know about it, but you appreciate it, they tend to be more warm and welcoming. And then real dialogue takes place. And from that dialogue becomes friendship. And I've established a lot of friendships like that over the years just by being polite, you know. So to all my people throughout the diaspora, let's not get easily offended when there's someone else that might be from a different country, different region from us, who might look at us a certain way. First, ask yourself, why is it that they feel that way? And then ask yourself, what can I do to change that perception? It all starts with a conversation. It all starts with having patience with one another as black people throughout the planet. So yeah, I just wanted to give props to IShowSpeed. Sounds like he's having a great time over there, and I'll probably make some more content surrounding this subject. But y'all have a good hump day. Peace.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I've been said, bro, if you know me, I want to move out the country, bro. I am not trying to stay here forever, dude. But watching this Speed go to Africa shit really gave me the itch to really want to go, though. I love, like, just different culture, bro. Different people, bro. And it's really sad when you think about it, though, because a lot of people in their lifetime do not get to leave the country. A lot of people in their lifetime barely left their state or their city, bro. So I'm already blessed enough to be able to travel different states, and I've been out the country. But, bro, we ain't gonna be on this earth forever, bro. I'm trying to explore as much as possible, like, seriously. That's the main reason why I even want some money. It's so I can explore more of this shit. Who just want to be stuck in the same place for their life, bruh? I'm glad this is like a streamer on here showing that this shit is possible, bruh. Mind you, what did it take him to do this? A lot. But I feel like it's different ways to go ahead and stack your money up to go ahead and take a little trip, you feel me? Shout out Speed though, bruh. This shit inspiring though, for sure.
You can see that Africa is a beautiful continent, and with very beautiful countries and beautiful people, beautiful places, happy people, so welcoming and joyful. One thing about Africans is that Africans are happy people, no matter what they are going through, unless it's like maybe in times of death. You may find someone has little money in their pocket, but it doesn't stop them from being happy. It doesn't stop them from enjoying life. It doesn't stop them from having fun whenever they can. So I think that is something that Africans really, I don't know how it just happened, but it's something that is just within Africans. Of course, IShowSpeed is enjoying the African tour. He has now been to about 23 countries and just left with a few. In fact, he extended the tour because remember he was supposed to only go to 20 countries originally, but I think he extended and added on some more countries. That means he's enjoying the continent and loving it. So the propaganda which has been going on, and of course is still going on, that Africans don't like, is it African Americans or Black Americans? Why do people think that Africans hate them? Unless this conflict has been going on maybe since the ancestral period, but for us Africans, like the ones in the continent, the Africans who grew up in the continent, we don't have that time of saying, I want to become an American, I want to become a what? No, I don't think it is like that. It depends on why you relocated to a country. If it is work, yes, you go there and work, and then go back to your home country. At least that's what I know. Even within our countries, like if you finish your education, maybe you move from the rural area to the urban area. You've heard of rural-urban migration. You travel to the city to look for a job, to get a good-paying job. Wherever you go to stay, if you move from the village or from the rural area to the city in Africa, like within your country, you will work in the city, but when it's time to go back home, you will still go back. Maybe after retirement, or if anything happens, you go back where you came from, and that is your village. Every African has an ancestral home where at the end of the day, they go back. When you die, whether you died in the city, they will transport you back to your ancestral home for burial. We have family burial grounds. That is where they bury you. You work, send back home money, you build yourself a house, and that is the dream of every African, whether you are a woman or you are a man, where you maybe make your family or where you'll retire from, because there is land, there is inherited land, and then you can also buy your own land. Because I've been also hearing that these Africans come and work here and then they send back home money. We as Africans, we support each other. Your brother cannot have a problem when you have money, like if you're able to support them, and then you just like ignore or pay a deaf ear when they need your help. You support. There are contributions that are always like happening within our families. Maybe we have a family joint account, maybe to support our parents in case of anything. You contribute like monthly payments. We support each other maybe during marriage, during death, we support each other. We make contributions, you know. So when I hear complaints that Africans migrate, come to work, and then they keep on sending money back home, and then they remain again working. The propaganda which used to go on, how people in Africa are suffering, how children are so hungry, those ones of lies and what. The thing is, of course, they are still talking about it. Like, that's what they used to tell them, and then they make charities and whatever they used to do. Yes, there are some cases where such things happen, like in case of disaster, like natural calamities which are unavoidable. Maybe people are displaced due to mudslides or landslides. Maybe there is an outbreak of diseases and pests maybe on their crops. Maybe there are floods, all the food is destroyed or all their homes are destroyed, and yeah, basically like they are left without anything. Then some maybe wars like that. Yeah, of course such cases may happen, and then also drought whereby there is no harvest of enough food in some areas. At least what I know, majority of Africans have food back in their homes, maybe in the rural areas which I talked about. Someone goes to the city to work, sends money back home, and the land is cultivated, they grow enough food. One thing I know, when I was growing up, we used not to buy food. We never bought food. Like, it was a taboo. Like, how do you begin buying food? You know, it looked awkward to buy food. We used to always have enough food. That's why we used to have the granaries where food would be stored. You could find that every home had a granary, like 1 or 2 or more granaries for different things. If you have for maize, you have for say millet, you have for say sorghum, you have like maybe for beans and ground nuts, sim, you know, different things. And then also, of course, we have the stores where we keep food just for the future until the next season or the next harvest. Because in a year, say in my country, we have 2 seasons. So the first season is in the first half of the year, then the next season is in the second half of the year. So there was always at least food, and hunger was not so much. Apart from a few places that are maybe semi-arid and arid. So these things that you were seeing on media, saying that Africans are so poor, Africans are so hungry, it was just propaganda, because it is not the whole of Africa. Like I said, it's just some few parts of the continent. So even if you relocated to the city, your parents, especially our moms, would make sure that they send you food. At least they put it on the bus or a taxi so that you have enough food while in the city and you don't buy everything. So that is just how Africa is and how African people are. People care for each other. If you're a family, you're a family. What I go through, my other family members get concerned about it and they find a way to help me out. Yeah, so you can see that IShowSpeed is really feeling at home. I think you've seen that clip where he even confessed to the other lady in Senegal. He told that lady that she smelled like his grandmom who passed away, unfortunately. I think he felt a spirit in him. Maybe the grandmother was around there, or the grandmother was trying to tell him something, that maybe you are home, you are on the land. I don't know. You know, for us Africans, our spirits can show in different ways, so you never know. Yeah, but he's enjoying. And West Africa, I think, makes him to feel more at home. I don't know. Maybe his ancestors are from West Africa. And when more people, of course, realize that all they were being told was not true, when they see a different picture that is being showed to them by their own person, yeah, they begin to think about it. They begin to realize that maybe it is time, or it is high time they did something. If they were scared of traveling to Africa, maybe they feel like it's high time I tried to go to these countries and see what is there. More people are beginning to do DNA, more people are beginning to check out for their ancestral, the origins of their ancestors. Like, of course, some have been fighting it, like they don't want to believe it, but the African spirit is powerful. It can trace you wherever you are. With that, of course, I'll end this video right here. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about this propaganda? And please subscribe if you have not yet. Hit that like button. Thank you so much for staying with me, and let's meet again in the next one.